Welcome to Bass and Bonsai. I'm back. I'm doing the video a little bit this way. You guys let me know when I do the live streams if you'd rather I do it like this or sideways. So this one's going to be this way because I can get what I'm talking about in this little shot anyway. But if you're curious about what I'm using, and this is not a firearm, it's just to show you guys the light, not a firearm. So today's video, I'm going to just talk about these lights coming from AliExpress. They are surefire knockoffs. They're not a surefire. They're 100% a knockoff. No way that they're the real thing. They're cheaper made, and we'll get into some of that, things you need to do to, if you want them to stay on your firearm. But I was kind of doing some different stuff. So I did a little bit, I did like a, what do you call it, a short showing the my two pistols I currently own, and I got two more coming on the way. So this video on these lights and how to install them and what to do to if they don't fit tight enough on your picatinny rail or on a Glock, just on that singular little slot form. And to give you a heads up on the channel overall, but yeah, go check out the short I put out if it's out yet. One thing, since I've started making some of these videos compared to fishing, oh my gosh, everything is like the whole point of trying to monetize a channel, you might as well forget about it. So I may actually, if I want to keep doing this, I may just leave Bass and Bonsai alone and go make a whole nother, I don't know, ballistic bonsai or some, make just a whole different channel. And not even try to monetize it because it's like crazy. And I'm not going to get into all that over different stuff. I'm not even going to get into the debate over should you be buying stuff from China or not, because half of it's made in China, but we can have that debate another day. Today, I'm talking about these, and I will let you guys know real quick. I don't know. I guess if you're familiar with surefires, you'll probably instantly be able to look at one of these knockoffs and tell right away. But if you're not, I don't know. I guess they're close enough that you would need to watch out for. And I'm not saying people would intentionally do it, but maybe if they didn't mention it and you didn't ask, you might end up buying something, say, off Gunbroker used with one of these on it, and maybe even one of the knockoff Trichicons or something, and you're thinking you're getting a heck of a deal, and you just got some knockoff older, you know, on a firearm coming from them. So just be on the lookout. Like I always, if I'm looking for a used anything, I kind of want to see the packaging, whether it be a Holosun, you know, if I was going to be in the market for one of these used, I would definitely be looking to make sure that they didn't come in packaging just like this, because the light itself does say surefire and stuff on it, but none of the packaging indicates that that's what it is. It's, I mean, it'll say you right there, but like you can just tell if there's nothing to say that you're buying a surefire and all the you know, all that stuff. So lastly, before I get into how to fit these on, I'm not sure how bright, I'm going to blind you guys, that how many lumens that the actual surefires, but I don't get into all that. I really just, I wanted a light for a few reasons. It just needs to, if I were to shine it at night, to identify, you know, what I intend to shoot at. And plus, there's a lot of holsters on the market, such as this cheap one from AliExpress also. And I don't know if this is a true copy of any holster that's on the market or just something they put out, but it does work, and it works on basically any pistol that has one of these on it. So that's why I kind of had this one rigged up. So you can pretty much, with this, you know, it'll fit. This is the Echelon grip module, and it'll fit that. It'll fit the whole pistol, but I just, you can't do live streams and hold firearms. It's against the YouTube deals. But I've got one on my shadow systems, goes in and out. So other than if you just had a crazy honking too big, like maybe a Desert Eagle or something, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't go in there. But so that'll let you, just with that one holster and, you know, a couple of these cheap knockoffs or the real thing. And so this one, as you can tell, it's pretty much tight on there. So I've already adjusted all these. So if you aren't familiar with the surefires or the knockoffs that have this quick release lever, basically there's a spring under there, and so you pull these down, slide it on, let go, and this is going to catch in there, or in case of a Glock there's just a single one. Now they come with the parts inside to I'll try to show you the differences. So if you look at this one, that's how they all come, or these anyway, the knockoffs from AliExpress. They'll come with that one, and that'll fit right on your Glocks. But if you try to put it on, and I'll just put it on this one to show you guys. You put it on with the picatinny rail, it fits. But let me try to show you. Now this one, I've tightened them up, but they'll come out of the package. I don't think I've got one that fits loose enough on, yeah, maybe it's this one. So you have, I don't know if you guys can make that out. You have that much movement. So you can put it on, and then, you know, you'll want to have it, any movement, just have it forward, because you're pushing on your light, you're pushing forward, right? Like as you can see, this one, there's no play. But I would suggest, oh my God, these things are tight. I've definitely been working on it, and I'll show you that in a second. I can't get it off now. There we go. So I've worked out a thing on these anyway to get them to fit real tight. They come out of the package. They'll actually like wobble around. So this one's probably the loosest one I have. But with the but you see this movement, it doesn't move forward and back, but just a hair. So I need to tighten it up a little more, and I'll show you how I do that to all these. But then it literally won't move at all, forward or back. But how? So if you have a few Glocks in your lineup, you would probably just want to leave them like that. And you can always switch back. But if you say if almost everything you have has a picatinny type rail with the wider slot, then I would probably recommend going, when you're going to take it apart anyway to do what I'm talking about, I would recommend probably putting that in. And it's going to be a little, just a touch, it'll stop that from happening, a little bit of slide as much. So what you have to do, and there's also one other way, I guess I show you guys that. It comes, you can rig it up a different way also. So it comes with all this stuff in the package. And you can, it comes with the wrench to do it. You could take all these screws out, and it basically gives you, this one is one of these other ones. So there's the wide and the narrow. I've got several here. So basically Glock, Glock clone, or Picatinny rail. And then you also have this one. So this one works a little differently. You have to put this thing together. It basically fits in there, and there's a little screw slot in the side and no spring. There's a spring under these that work like this. This one, this pushes down and out of the way, if you guys can see that. So what this one allows you to do, and it comes with two different ones also. It comes with one like more universal or Glock, and then one for Picatinny rail. So with that in there, you guys can see how that works. It lets you slide this back, put it on the Picatinny rail, slide that into place. So you do that, pull that back to allow it to move in or out. Then with this, with the set screw, what it does is it pushes up and tightens it down. Now I tried it like that, and for one, I think it looks a little weird, like you end up having this sticking out. So where this hole is, there's this sticking out, and then you have this sticking out kind of on this side, and you could literally like push it hard enough, and like this never does really get truly tight. Like that just keeps it from sliding, and then this pressure point here is what kind of tightens the whole thing up. But once I did what I did, this for me is the best way, it seems like, on these. So what I did was, and I guess I could take one apart just to show you, and I'll just tell you. So you just take the 3 screws out and this just comes off. So what I did was simply took my Dremel with the cutoff wheel. Instead of using it as a cutoff wheel, they'll use it like a disc, sander, and you could just run this across sandpaper if you don't have a Dremel. But what you want to do is try to take material off of here to get the picatinny rail itself to drop further down, because these will come. Like I had one that came pretty tight. I haven't even adjusted it, and I can't even tell. I think it's this one. And it came ready to go. But all the others had just too much slop on the Glock, on the shadow systems for sure. They like, even with the, it was like sloppy on. And depending on which one you get, you may have one that, try it, but if it just wobbles, I don't know if you guys can see this one. So like this one, I guess I could do this one for you guys. How many of you guys want to see that? Nobody's even watching. Nobody cares. But anyway, so before you even get to the part that latches it, you can see that the fitment, it's got a loose fit going, right? So when you do this, see like this one, it's already on tight. Like there's no wobble, and I haven't even, pushed it all the way and locked it in. So it's on there. So I guess since I do need to do it to this one anyway, I'll go ahead and show you. So let me put all these stuff up real quick. So I went and shot the shadow systems with the shadow systems compensator, and wow. Like you'll get, and don't get me wrong, 9mm aren't really that, spicy, snappy, whatever. But when you're shooting a 9mm, same ammo, in a pistol that doesn't have a compensator, and then you're shooting one that does, you can tell the difference. This instantly becomes a snappier film. It just feels like, it was like, whoa. And the compensated gun just feels nicer to shoot. It just does. So I'm thinking about having the echelon. I don't like that. I know I'm kind of picky. I don't like the looks of it with the threaded barrel one or a comp sticking on it. It's kind of big at the front, and I think that would look weird. But so I'm thinking about sending it off to either Monsoon Tactical and having what they call their Lucky 7, or I forget the name. There's a couple others I've looked into. Basically, they'll cut a slot in the top of the barrel and add some ports across the top. And I'm going to have that done. I just don't know at what point in time, because I also do have 2 PS Dagger frames coming, a PS Dagger slide, along with the threaded barrel that I also have. I don't know where I even put it, because I already bought 2 comps. When I bought I didn't even get to shoot this one yet. I just took the one, and I had this on originally on my shadow systems. That's the Strike Industries littler one. They actually make like a real little one, this one, and then that big huge mass driver thing. But this little dude looks good, and I've watched another YouTuber had one on basically the same type of dagger I'm getting. So I'm gonna put it on the one dagger that's coming. It'll be all dagger parts with that on it. And then I've got another barrel and slide coming from eBay for the dagger for Glock 19 that it's already ported. So be looking for those videos coming out. And then I got this little dude. In all honesty, if you want to order a light that is gonna like stay on no matter what, you're probably going to want, even if you track down a cheap one or whatever, one of these ones that's like an all aluminum or metal and a clamping style, right? Because then they fit, but I still, you're dealing with plastic on plastic. So, on the average polymer gun kind of deal, that I could see this one, crazy hard, whatever. But so far it seems good. But yeah, if you're really wanting one to, and I don't know if that little dude, I'd want one with a little longer rail to go across. I still find it hard to believe that Glock never did switch to a full Picatinny rail. Or these guys putting out the Glock clones don't just, I mean, why are they sticking 100% to that? I can see making a Gen 3 Glock clone internally, but externally, I don't know why you wouldn't be a full Picatinny rail like almost every other polymer gun. So let me just show you. Take all these out. I guess I could show you guys what that other one looks like in case somebody wants a full deal so you'll know. So that just comes out. You got to watch when you put it back together. Set that like that. Go like that. That way you don't get goofed up. And then you just reassemble it how I disassembled it. So this just pops out like that if you wanted to switch and put one of these on. So I guess I'll show you guys that real quick. I'm opening another one back up. Don't worry, we're professionals around here. We're not gonna lose any, maybe. So I actually have one of these already together. We're gonna open everything. Is that it? Well, let's just go from the get-go. So if you want to use this one, first thing you got to do is you'll pop that in from the top like that. Then you're going to take this little thing right here. It's got like the beveled part. It's got a slot where it fits right in there. You're going to set it in there. Take your long screw, run it through there. Can be a little tricky. Hopefully they got the threads right, or you got them right. Uh-oh. The first one I did went like real smooth, but anytime you guys know the deal, when you try to record it on video, and this one may have a burr or something, it is not wanting to start. I've already messed it up. There it goes. Wow, that took forever. So that one, and then you leave enough thread sticking out, because when you put it down, you want the head of it to stick in there. See that? So then that goes down, and then you basically take whichever one. If you're going for the Glock, you'll need this one. If you're going for the there's really only one way to put them in, with this little part sticking up. So the U, I guess, is for universal, and P, I guess, is for pick rail. So I'll just stick that one on to show you. And then here, you got the little slot, so I just put it together like that. So up high enough to put that on. Then you got that. So then, as you can tell, that's why this one has a hole, if you're wondering. Like, so you put the rails back on just the way they were. And I'll stick one in just to show you how it works. Then we'll go to how to tighten up the normal way. So yeah, you get that. Then to this one just slides in and out. So you'll pull these back this way. It frees that up, lets it slide, and it's got a catch so it won't fall all the way out. Then you just slide it on, push that back through, and it'll lock, and then you tighten that up, that pushes that up, and it tightens it on the, and it's pretty simple, but I messed with it, and I don't really like that one. So anyway, I'm not using any of those. But if you want to have it tightened up on your Picatinny rail or whatever, and you don't want to do what I'm getting ready to show you how to do, then that other option, that's really the only way to get it pretty tight. Because if it's a little wobbly, and you don't want to cut these down, then it's going to be wobbly. So you might want to try that other way. But this is real simple, and I'm not going to go crazy showing you because this thing's loud. But either something flat, even you could just, you know, I've got somewhere, I don't even know where it's at, I've got a sanding block. But you're going to basically take, not the top side where the screws go in, but the bottom side, and you can see the... So what you'll do is the inside where the rail's going to run as you're grinding it down. You could go even if you want to go perfectly even, but I kind of actually can it in just a hair to where, you know, the pressure of force, if it has to push out a little bit. Because if you go the opposite way, like say if you're just taking it off and you're widening out, if that makes sense, I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. If you lower it down by sanding, but while you're lowering it, you're doing this, you're not really gaining much. So go 100% straight, or like me, I don't have a 100% straight surface, so I'm kind of making sure I put more pressure on the inside of that rail, and that way it just, you know, it'll go in. So when you're done, you go from instead of having that wobbly feel to, you know, it'll fit pretty snug. Now you still have a little play, a little leeway, because when you put them together, like if you put it together and you think it's too tight, you could always undo the screws and actually push away as you're tightening them. And there is a little play there with them screws, because on one of these, I can't remember which one it was now. I got that, it was when I started, because, oh, it was the brand new one. The brand new one was like tight in the back, but not as tight in the front. And I thought, well, what's going on there? So I literally I didn't even loosen the rear screws. I loosened this screw, these two in the middle, and the two top ones, and I pushed these in pretty much, you know, not as hard as I could, but pretty hard, and then retightened the 4 screws, and this super tight now. So then I went back through all the ones I had done and just pushed in everything tight as I then tightened the screws back in, pushing it, you know, squeezing it together. And it definitely made a difference, almost to the point where I'm probably fine, but there is one of these that becomes quite hard to get off. This one's not it. This one actually fits very good. I think it's this one. One of these is like a nightmare. Yeah, I think it's this one. But it's fine. And they're not going to get tighter. They may loosen up a little bit. But like, that dude is not, he's not going anywhere. So you can take a little off, put it back together. It doesn't take too long. Sand them down, put it back together, and then, you know, test fit it. Like I said, when you think you're close, make sure you're holding in as you tighten them up. That'll help hold it a little more snug or whatever. And before I get out of here, I'll show you guys a couple points. I haven't even done it to these yet, but I need to do it because this one, and I need to mark this one to keep it. This one has 200, 300, 400 rounds, maybe have been shot while it was on a couple different ones, Shadow Systems, and then I think I put it on the, because I also have shot the Echelon. So I don't know, several hundred, so it's still working. Now I did find that this one, I'm going to do a little sanding before I put it back together anyway, but so this one, and I don't know why, I thought it was because, okay, that's right, I had this one going and I did do a little bit of shooting with it, and I think I only put 100 rounds to it, and this side stopped working, and I thought, what happened? Well, I don't think it was anything to do with shooting. I don't think I'd ever tested it, and it took me to push it real hard. several times, it was almost like there's just something in there, but now it's working fine. Because I've always just I've never really sat and messed when I was doing whatever I was doing. I'd always just kind of, you know, it's kind of weird, but like being right-handed and you're holding the gun, it's like you want all the function to be over here on the left side, I guess, because you got this hand and your thumb to work all the stuff. So I hadn't even tested any of these, so then I went through all these that I have and made sure that all of them work in all the different ways. Because honestly, it was kind of one of those weird things that it's hard to explain, but the pressure deal wouldn't work on that side, but everything else worked. And I think it was just I hadn't pushed it like hard enough. So once I started really monkeying with it, and then now it seems fine. So anyway, if you have any more questions on this or anything else to do with the lights and mounting them on or whatever, I was tempted, and I think I just, plus I have enough lights to I guess you could do it a couple different ways. You could kind of modify these even more, and I may at some point to where they will literally go on, and this is the one I stippled myself, the echelon. If you guys don't know about that, I'll tell you real quick since it just popped in my head. So if you get an echelon and the grip it comes with, now they're making mag wells for them, but I don't think they're gonna work on the other ones. Like say you decided you want a shorter, because I believe these are both the smallest inserts, and they do interchange, but it definitely, the grip all the way down is different. So I'm thinking that you would need to get, and you can see even just take the grip inserts out of it, see that where they go in, see how much more length there is on this. This is the large. So if you're, I guess you need to decide for sure which grip you like, because if you have just a regular one and you go ordering mag wells or whatever, and if you have a, where did it go? I can't even find mine now, but I was going to say if you have a Hogue grip, here it is. The regular, this is actually for like a Glock. They make a few different ones, but this one will fit right on the medium with the smallest thing. It would probably go with the others, but you're going to stretch a little more. Like it fits on tight and looks pretty good. I'd show you if I didn't already have the other one attached to the. But a trick to putting them on, if you decide to go that way, that's what the smallest one. The medium would probably work also, the medium grip with the medium insert. But the trick is I take the rear insert out, then start to grip on. Then when I get it almost all the way, then that's when I put that in, then I feed on up. So you could probably do that also, even if you want the biggest one. It just helps make it easier. I'd show you guys. This one, though, I haven't even messed with because I wanted to leave it. You can kind of tell I started, and it will come out. I just didn't go all the way. I was like, okay, I'll just leave it there. Because I kind of wanted it to where you couldn't even tell that it, like it was all one piece. It didn't have an insert. But I think the one I like is actually this one without any of the grips. But I definitely like the Hogue grip better on the other one. And I would show you, and be looking for another video. If you get one of these or you've tried these in the past and you're like, dude, they'll suck because I like finger grooves, right? But they're too slick and smooth on the front and back. Guess what? You can stipple this material. Now this one's kind of thin for whatever reason. I don't know if it's an older one or not, but I have a newer black one I did, and I have an FDE colored one that is definitely feels a little thicker. And I'm going to stipple it just a small, little, like this guy right here. That's the little one I used to make these, and I stippled the grip, and it definitely helps. Like it because back here, these are very slick in the back, but you can stipple that and it makes it about as grippy as what the side material is, or some may say even more. It doesn't feel as, because these are like raised bumps, and when you're stippling, you're actually creating craters with raised edges around the outside. So anyway, it's just a thought as I get out of here. You can take one of these Hogue grips, and especially if you end up with something that feels too small and you wouldn't mind a little more girth, get one of these Hogue. They make several different styles, but every one of them is slick in the front and back. I stippled that one all the way around. I'd show you, but I can't, because in this video I'll get shut down. So anyway, I may put a whole video together showing that, doing it, showing the proof. It's in the pudding. Now here's the large, and I thought I would like this, but then I went up I actually went through all the different grips with the. So I was shooting the shadow systems with the comp, and then I went through all the different grip modules on the Echelon. And I need to go just by itself, because all of them didn't feel as good as what the shadow systems did, because it was a comp gun. But I think I actually like just the medium with the smallest deal stippled. Now I thought about trying this one. The large does come with a more aggressive grip, and it seems, I would call it, I don't know, that little bitty gripple pattern I did is probably just as grippy, but this doesn't feel as good in my hands, as far as like something digging in, just them sharper edges. I don't know, like I guess it's in my mind too that I'm holding on to sandpaper feel. I don't really like that. This feels like I'm holding on to something that I got a hold of, but I don't feel it like biting in. And actually, this one may be the one that I would shoot better if I just got out and shot just one. So I may stipple this one, because I do like, my hands are fairly big. I don't like how hard it is though. See, like, there's the grip I would have. Now, you may say you can reach that fine, but it's hard to hit that. This thing almost needs to be raised for me. But with the medium, my thumb's like all over it. Like, it's just, I got a little more thumb. But I think if that was raised just a hair, it's just so, with this raised part here, which is, I could probably actually just take that down, but with the large, I can't, I don't know why, I just don't have enough. It may just because it's a newer one, it's harder to push, but it just feels harder to get on and release a mag with that one. This one just feels like I'm holding on to more, I've just got a better grip on it, even though when I first got that one, I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to like that. And then I don't know if I like it or not. May just not have quite big enough hands. Now, a large glove fits me kind of tight. Extra large is a touch too loose. If you guys are curious about gauging if you're going to get an Echelon. So I think I may just stick with this dude. And I think I'm going to go ahead. I goofed up right there. That wasn't from stippling that Dremel. I was dremeling the edges down. I don't even know how I did it. I guess, didn't pay attention. Now, what I also have found out, for me, when I get up on there, this is way too far up on any of them. This one it puts it kind of close, but the actual takedown lever has this pattern on it too, and that's where I end up. And especially like if I were to do this one, but as you guys can see, my thumb like that, it's too much of a reach to try to go that far up for me anyway. It just feels more natural. And then when on the shadow systems also, that's about right in the same spot that is that takedown lever on the Echelon. So Although that's a cool idea, I like it and everything. I think it's just too far out of my reach to try to get my grip to, you know, go way up that far. Because then when I did notice when I tried to get up there and I was shooting, like I think back here, and this one's not a huge big a deal, but I found out with the shadow systems, the slide lock release, whatever you want to call it, if I don't make a effort to get my thumb off of this side over there, I keep the magazines from working like they should when it's empty and it locking back. I haven't had any problem with the echelon. I think it's just a better design to where it's at. Because like my thumb, I can push in here and it sets right there. The other one's different. Anyway, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. You got any questions on any of this stuff, let me know. And a lot more coming once I get out. I got to figure out if Frontier Justice let me do any recording up there, or I just got to come back and tell you about the shooting. I got several different ammo being on the lookout to talk about. Actually, one called Ammo, I think may be my favorite, but it's out at Gun Mag Warehouse. But the MagTech seems fine. That's cold down here. The Fiocchi may be the snappiest of the 115 grain that I've shot, but it seems fine, and there's a couple different sales going on it right now, so who knows, I may end up buying a bulk amount of it. But the Federal seems fine too. Very first time I went shooting, I rented, or this go round, I rented a Glock and bought a box of just a red Federal 115 grain, and they had two like malfunctions. Could have been me, could have been the thing, but so far I have not had any issues with the compensated shadow systems, the regular shadow systems, the echelon, or any of the ones when I did rent them up there, the Spectre Comp, P320 Spectre Comp, the Staccato XC, the the Zev P226 Zev with a silencer on it. These are all ones I was renting up at Frontier Justice and was shooting. I think it was MagTech is what they had, was the cheapest 115 grain. All that stuff, like so far, cross your fingers, knock on wood, wherever there's wood at. 9mm ammo I've used has been good so far. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. Right when somebody started watching. Thanks for watching. Get out, go bass, bonsai, and whatever else you want to do. Go shooting at a shooting range. I do need to find a place outdoors that's closer for the warmer weather, or get with Charles. I don't know when he's going to be doing any outdoor shooting. Oh, I almost forgot. I did get these also. I'm not sure if I'm even using these right or how well they do or don't work. These are like $7 to $9 off AliExpress, of course. One for 22. It just goes in the end of the barrel. Red laser bore sight. These go inside, just like if, you know, the shell. And I'd swear they're all like they were too high. So I don't know. I haven't went to the site at the range since just looking at these, but I put them in and they were like, you know, from, I don't know, 7 yards away. I'm just guesstimating like that much higher than I think they were like high. I don't know. So still up in the air on whether I think how accurate those are or aren't for sighting in your, I guess it's something to get close when you first put something on, if you just want to get it close and then go from there. But both mine and even my Tipman 22 are basically co-witnessed iron sights, so I set the red dots close to those, and this all seems like it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Get out and do it to it. I gotta go.